Hello, I just made a video earlier. Well, it wasn't a video, it was an Instagram post, my second one ever. And it was related. I talked about, I shared my thoughts on Kanye West being an idiot, being a Nazi, a blatant Nazi apologist, praising Hitler, praising Jews on Alex Jones' show. Anyways, I already shared my thoughts on that. If you wanted to go check it out, I hope you do. But I wanted to make this post already. I've been wanting to speak about this, but I'm fucking busy, man. I am working 8 to 10 hours a day. Uh, really late. I have kids. I have my wife. I have car troubles, home fixing problems, and I gotta go upkeep this apartment units. So I'm a busy guy. I don't get a lot of time to post, to do things that I like posting videos. I kind of like it now, even though I'm still not in my comfort zone. And but I'm getting a little more comfortable. But I don't get to do it a lot because I don't get paid to do this. I do this for free. Anyways, so I wanted to share my thoughts on Joe Biden and betraying the railroad workers. I'm not gonna give you many details. I know, I only know like I couldn't give you every single granular detail about it, but I do know the crux of it. The what would you call it? The On the surface level of it, I know the main things about it. Bottom line, railroad workers who are unionized, they haven't been able to strike a deal with the rail companies. They've been at it for 3 years, and one of the things that the railroad workers they've been asking for is paid sick leave. From what I understand, they were asking for 14, 15 days of paid sick leave, and some days and some time off too, like guaranteed time off, because they were not getting, they were getting neither, and their schedule was crazy. Like, I worked on schedules where I used to work for Blue Beacon. I was a truck washer, and I used to work on schedule like I have my schedule, Monday through Friday or whatever, like 5 days out of the week, and I will get random days off, whatever the manager deemed best for the freaking company, for the shift and all that. But I will get at least a day or two off, and there were days where like the weather was crappy, and they will send me home like on call, they call it, and then they change it to check-in for legal reasons. Anyway, so I work schedules like that, and yeah, I do think those kinds of schedules are kind of bull, like, because you're expected to come back if they call you to work. If they tell you to come to work, you're expected to come back to work within 2 hours or something like that. Or yeah, if they don't, well, how did it work? If they called you and there was more than 2 hours left to your shift, and 2 hours or more left in your shift, you have to come back to work. That's how it worked at Blue Beacon, and it was inconvenient, man. I'm not gonna lie. I do like that job. I don't work there anymore, but I did like doing the job. The job was fun. But little rules like that, yeah, they're not a fan of them, and I'm sure most coworkers don't like that either. But it wasn't the end of the world. Like 90% of the time, I never got called back, and I would look at the weather, like, because it was really the weather that affected it. It was raining or snowing. I would look at the weather, and no, it's gonna stop snowing. It's gonna stop snowing or raining at X amount of time. So yeah, they're probably gonna call me back. So I was like mentally prepared to go back to work. when that happened to me, which it didn't happen to me that often either, because I was like one of the higher ranks. I was a supervisor, and so supervisors, they get to stick around more, even if it's raining. But when I was a bay attendant, yeah, chances were higher, but even then. Anyways, as inconvenient as that shit is, these railroad workers have it a lot worse. Like, they're expected to work. They're expected to be on call like all fucking day, and like they get no time off, no days off. They might get some time off, but not guaranteed. Like I said, they're on call like 24/7. And when they call them back to work, they're expected to be there like within 2 or 3 hours, or 39 minutes if possible, or something like that. Some ridiculous rules like that. And like I said, if they get sick or they gotta go see a doctor or something, or the family members get sick, like, they get points against them for missing work, and that hurts them anyways. They were planning on striking, or I think they still are. I don't know what's their plan right now, but there was a threat of striking it. We're talking. I don't know. I kind of knew this, but I didn't know this much detail. Like, if the railroad workers go on strike, we're talking 114,000. I think is the number I heard. Workers around the country, and we're talking like big. It will probably affect many of us, because a lot of shit that we use every day, or even let's say they do go on strike, like right now or next week or whatever. We will definitely feel that shit, because a lot of stuff moves on trains. From whatever you're thinking, food merchandise, building materials, or little gadgets, whatever. If you order something for Christmas, who knows if you'll get it. So, it's important. And yeah, I'll be willing to suffer the consequences if they go on strike, because bottom line, they should be able to get some time off. I think most people would agree with that. I don't get paid time off in my job, I'll tell you that. But at the same time, they don't. I have missed work, like, let's say, maybe 7 days this year, and there's zero threat that I'm gonna lose my job, because my current employer, pretty understanding. Even Blue Beacon was pretty understanding. Like, they believed me when I was sick. They know the kind of worker I am, and so does my current employer. And I don't get paid time off for any of that, but I definitely don't get points against me. I do have a union representing me, though, and so maybe that helps. But eventually, if you start missing too much, yeah, somebody's gonna say something. But when it's within 7-10 days, whatever, my job has never been threatened because I miss work. And apparently the railroad workers don't have that luxury. So I don't care, dude. Give them paid time off, even if I don't get it. I don't give a shit. But so yeah, I will support the strike, even if it affects me indirectly, like economically, negatively. So be it. And Biden, the thing with these railroad workers, they're not allowed to legally strike because of what I just shared, that the effects, like, the overall effect it will have on our economy. It's like they don't get to, like, let's say I'm with my union. If we decide to strike, we don't need Congress's approval or disapproval. Like, Congress cannot tell us not to strike, like, legally. And railroad workers don't have that option. Like, before they even go on strike. Like, they have to take other different steps that I'm not that well versed in explaining, so I'm not even going to try. But they gotta take like 2 or 3 different steps before they get to strike, and then when they decide, like, okay, we're getting ready to strike now, then Congress can step in and tell them, no, you cannot strike, and Congress can pretty much force a deal. Like, even if, let's say, there's a deal offered from the rail companies on the workers, and the majority of the workers reject that deal and plan on striking, Congress can step in and tell them, no, you're gonna take the deal, and you're not legally allowed to strike. And guess what fucking Joe Biden just did? He did just that. He just betrayed his people, and god damn it, he called on Congress. He asked Congress to, because Joe Biden stepped in like earlier this month, I think, or late last month, but to try and prevent the strike, and try to strike a deal. And the main thing with the workers, they got like a 24% increase over the next 3 years, I think, on wages. And if you're thinking, yo, that sounds good and all that, yeah, sure, but you also got to keep in mind that they haven't struck a deal. They haven't had a deal for 3 years. So they're pretty much getting underpaid right now. And this big increase in wages, it's just going to make up for all the inflation and all the cost of living they have to eat all these years. So that wasn't the crux of the issue. The crux was the paid time off. They were asking for 14, and they went down to 4. Like, okay, we'll take 4 days. Give us 4 days. And even then, the railroad companies said no. I think they offered them 0 or just 1 day. Joe Biden steps in and whatever, works out this deal with the railway companies and union leadership, and he ends at one day only, 1 paid day off, and it goes to the rank and file of the union, and they voted down. The majority of union workers vote that shit down, and so that's why we're at the risk of the strike now. And so Joe Biden asked Congress to step in and force the deal that he freaking put together with these railway companies and the union leaders, whatever. Like, even if the workers voted against it, he wants to force it down their throats pretty much, because he's so worried about the economy. Yeah, man, I get it, but god damn it, you're supposed to be pro-union. You're pro-union Joe or something like that. That's what he calls himself. And no, he just betrayed him. And the squad, the majority of them, they're disappointing as well, except for Rashida Tlaib. I think Rashida Tlaib voted the right way. He voted against forcing that deal on the workers. But yeah, Democrats, Republicans, including progressives, too many progressives voted for that shit. With the supposedly there's another piece of legislation, like they want to vote on this one that puts the deal on the workers, that forces the deal on the workers that they voted against. But then there's another piece of legislation regarding 7 days off, paid time off. And so they got that separately, and I think it passed the House already or something like that, but it's going to the Senate. Everybody's expecting that it might die in the Senate, or we're not sure what's going to happen yet, but this is how weak freaking our progressive leaders are right now. Really, they're pathetic, man. Like, we have like the bad guys, ultra bad guys, the Republicans, and then you have the other ones that are almost as bad, which is the corporate Democrats. And then you got this weak ass freaking heroes, the the progressive Democrats, and God damn it, it's so frustrating, man. It makes it really hard to defend the progressive leaders right now in Congress. I'm talking AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Jamal Bowman, Ayanna Pressley, all of you. It's really hard to defend you people when you do this shenanigans. Why did it have to be a separate bill regarding the 7 days off paid or 7 sick days paid? Why can't we just put it together with the same bill? Why do you have to separate them? And it is so, I don't know who they think they're playing, or if they're really that dumb or shallow minded. I don't know what's going on, man. Like, but boy, I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. It's so frustrating. And Joe Biden, this is why I keep saying we need to primary this dude. We gotta keep pressuring him. I hope Marianne Williamson throws her hat in the ring. Whoever it is, man, like, we need to pressure Joe Biden from the left. I don't care how many times the Republican voters, right-wing voters tell me, I don't care how many times they tell me that, oh, Joe Biden is so liberal, so progressive, or so far to the left. BS, he's nowhere near. He's a neoliberal corporate Democrat. That's what he is. Which is 90% similar to a regular corporate Republican that is not MAGA. MAGA is a whole different species. But yeah, we just can't. It's hard. This is why we need to primary Joe Biden, because of little shit like this. It is also true, he like, at least in my lifetime, he is the most worker-friendly, even union worker-friendly president that we've had in a very long time. But it's like, this dude, it feels like whatever policy issue you look at, he gathers up an ounce of goodwill, and an ounce of good reputation with whatever group, like, whatever the issue is, he puts together his ounce of good reputation, and then he just fucking douses it with 5 gallons of gasoline and sets it on fire like that. Like, he's been good for Starbucks workers, even Amazon union attempts, unionizing Amazon. Joe Biden's the NLRB has been pretty good. Starbucks workers, I think you ask them most of the time, because they're trying to unionize as well, they don't have much to say. Like, they feel like the NLRB they've been doing good for them, by them anyway. But then you go and fuck over like the biggest unions here. Like, you go and you turn around and just completely betray the railroad workers, and this is how you freaking foment. This is how phony populists, how authoritarians get into power. Because you're when you do shit like this to workers, you're pushing them to the point of desperation, Joe Biden. And then some phony ass populists like Trump, or maybe Ron DeSantis, will come around and, oh, you were wrong and all that. I will look after you. And enough workers might fall for that and vote for these people, and then here we will be another. We will have our democracy in danger again. And I just shared recently of how worried I was about democracy, and shit like this is what gets us there. It's not just the psychos on the right being psycho and being extreme. When weak ass left politicians push shenanigans like this, that contributes to the problem of putting democracy at risk and just paving a way for authoritarians. So Yeah, if you want to hear more details on this story, because it's important, I suggest you look it up on Breaking Points. The last 2 or 3 days, they've been talking about it. Also, Democracy Now!, very good source. If you're not aware of it, I mean, get a little familiarized with it. I know everybody's busy. I'm busy. You're busy, and yeah, but this is important, man, and especially we're talking worker issues. Not 90% of us are workers, and if we don't have each other's back, I don't know what the hell is our point of. What's the point of this country, really, or any country, if you don't have the back of your fellow men and women, especially the ones breaking their backs and breaking the sweat, you know? Yeah, just Breaking Points, Democracy Now! I think TYT did a good job too, talking about this topic. Don't go to CNN, don't go to Fox News, or I don't even know what MSNBC is up to, but yeah, don't go to corporate outlets right now. I highly recommend Breaking Points. I highly recommend Democracy Now! Max Alvarez, I don't know the name of his YouTube channel, but this guy is like very hyper focused on worker issues, and he's all over this story too. So look up Max Alvarez on YouTube if you want to get more familiarized with what's going on here. There's voting going on already. I gotta look it up myself and get more updated, but yeah, it's looking shaky, and this is Joe Biden's fault. This is why we need to primary him from the left. I'm hoping Marianne Williamson or Nina Turner or Bernie Sanders again. I don't care. We just gotta put pressure on Joe Biden and defeat him if we can. Why not? We need a strong Democrat. This is just not. It's not Joe Biden's moment. This is what people mean when they say we don't want a freaking wishy-washy politician that does half-ass work, because this is what Joe is doing. He's doing bare minimum shit. He's being half-assed, and we need better than that. We need someone with a fundamental agenda to fundamentally change the course of this economy, the course of worker and corporations relations. And we really need to change course into a friendlier territory for working people, and stop coddling all these fucking corporations, ban stock buybacks, ban all this bullshit that they do. I am losing my voice. I am a little under the weather, if you cannot tell. So I should go to bed because I am a little sick and I am a little tired. But I've been wanting to make this video regarding this issue because I don't get a chance to talk about real issues that often. Most of the time, I'm too focused, too busy fighting off fucking culture wars that are hurting regular people too. But I talking about policy, I prefer doing that. So, oh my God. Yeah, I'm sick. Primary Joe Biden, BreakingPoints.com, Breaking Points on YouTube, Breaking Points on Spotify, Democracy Now! On YouTube, or democracynow.org, Democracy Now! On Spotify. Max Alvarez only on YouTube. I don't know. Look it up, man. Change your news diet. Don't just watch cable news. I'm telling you, they're lying to us, and I would need another 2 hours to give examples of how brainwashed our people is with the cable news. This is why alternative media sources are thriving. Some of them are not so good. Other ones pretty good, like Breaking Points and Democracy Now!